In a world where everyone wants to be heard, true art lies not so much in the ability to speak as in the ability to listen. Mindful listening is not just a passive perception of sounds, but an active, empathic process that requires full presence and openness. It is a skill that allows us to understand not only others but also ourselves more deeply, opening up new horizons in interpersonal relationships and the inner world. In today's society, overloaded with information and superficial connections, this skill becomes an invaluable resource for building genuine intimacy and deep mutual understanding. This is seeing unlimited greatness. Let's start with understanding ourselves through listening. Paradoxically, the more attentively we learn to listen to others, the more clearly we begin to hear our own inner voice. When we are fully focused on the words and non-verbal signals of the interlocutor, our own inner critic, usually so active, falls silent for us. In this silence, there is space for reflection. We begin to notice how the other person's words resonate with us, what emotions they evoke, what memories or ideas they bring to mind. These responses are powerful indicators of our own values, beliefs, fears, and desires. For example, listening to someone tell a story of loss can help us understand our own unprocessed pain, or listening to someone's success can help us understand our own hidden ambitions or envy, which can lead to self-reflection and personal growth. Mindful listening is a kind of moving meditation that sharpens our intuition and facilitates deeper contact with our subconscious. How to listen to others mindfully. The true art of listening to others begins with eliminating distractions. In an age of constant connectivity and multitasking, this can be the hardest part. Turn off your phone, close unnecessary tabs on your computer, find a quiet place where you won't be interrupted. Make a conscious effort to fully engage with the person who is speaking. This is not only an external behavior, but also an internal intention, to show the other person that their words are important to you, not only on the surface, but also on a deep level. The next step is to be present without judgment. When we listen, our brains tend to instantly analyze, evaluate, and form a response. Mindful listening requires that we pause this process. Try to listen, not to respond, but to understand. This means setting aside your biases, stereotypes, and personal experiences that can distort the information you receive. Simply allow the other person to speak without interrupting, without giving advice unless asked for, or offering immediate solutions. It is important to give the person space to fully express their thoughts and feelings, even if they seem irrational or unfair to you. Empathy is the heart of mindful listening. It is the ability to put yourself in another person's shoes, to feel their emotions, to understand their perspective, even if you disagree with it. Empathic listening does not require agreement, but it does require understanding. This is demonstrated by non-verbal cues, eye contact, open posture, nodding that shows that you are actively engaged. You can also use phrases that confirm understanding, such as, "I can see that this is important to you," or "It seems like you feel." The main goal is to convey to the interlocutor a sense that he is not alone in his experiences and that he is heard and accepted, but also allows you to check the accuracy of your understanding and gives the interlocutor an opportunity to correct or supplement their thought. Clarifying questions that do not contain judgment, for example, "Can you tell me more about that?" or "What exactly do you mean by that?" also help deepen the dialogue. Patience and silence are underrated aspects of listening. Many people feel uncomfortable in moments of silence and tend to fill the gaps with conversation. However, it is in silence that the deepest thoughts and feelings are often born. Give the interlocutor time to think. Formulate their thoughts, do not rush them. Sometimes a person just needs to be heard without the need for an immediate answer or advice. Silence can be a sign of respect and trust, creating a safe space for vulnerability. Benefits of mindful listening. The practice of mindful listening has enormous benefits in all areas of life. On a personal level, it reduces stress because we stop constantly scanning the world for threats and begin to perceive information more calmly. It also improves our mental clarity and ability to focus because it trains our minds to stay in the present moment. Through deeper self-understanding, we become more self-aware and able to manage our emotions. In interpersonal relationships, mindful listening builds trust and intimacy. When people feel truly heard and understood, they become more open and willing to collaborate. It reduces conflict and misunderstandings because many disputes arise precisely because of the inability or unwillingness to listen to each other. In the professional sphere, it improves team communication, increases the effectiveness of meetings, facilitates faster problem solving, and creates an atmosphere of mutual respect. Leaders who listen are more effective because they better understand the needs of their employees and clients. In addition, mindful listening develops our empathy and compassion. The more we practice understanding other people, their motives and experiences, the broader our horizons become, and the deeper our compassion for the human experience as a whole. This helps us become more tolerant and accepting of differences and contributes to building a more harmonious and inclusive society. We begin to see behind a person's words their true needs, fears, and hopes, which allows us to respond not to superficial manifestations, but to their deep essence. Mindful listening is not an innate talent, but a skill that can and should be developed. It requires constant practice, self-discipline, and a willingness to go beyond your usual patterns of behavior. In a world where everyone strives to be heard, those who can truly listen have a unique power. They become a center of attraction, a source of wisdom and support. On the path to a deeper understanding of yourself and others, mindful listening is one of the most powerful and effective tools that opens the door to true connection and harmony. Allow yourself to immerse yourself in this process, and you will find how your life will be enriched. Barriers to mindful listening and how to overcome them. Despite the obvious benefits, mastering mindful listening is associated with a number of typical barriers that prevent us from being truly attentive. Recognizing these barriers is the first step to overcoming them. One of the most common barriers is internal dialogue. Our mind is constantly occupied with our own thoughts. We are planning our next response, recalling something from our experience, evaluating the interlocutor, or simply getting distracted by irrelevant things. This endless stream of thoughts drowns out the voice of the other person and prevents us from fully perceiving their message. To overcome this, constant training of the mind is necessary, returning to the moment, focusing on breathing if thoughts lead you astray. Imagine that you are a blank slate on which the other person's words are written. Another major obstacle is jumping to conclusions and judgments. We tend to label, categorize, and make judgments based on first impressions or our own experiences. This leads us to stop listening as soon as we think we get it. However, there are often deeper, unspoken meanings hidden behind external appearances. To avoid this, it is important to cultivate curiosity and openness. Ask yourself, what else can I learn about this person or situation? What are other possible interpretations of what I am hearing? Let go of the desire to be right and focus on the desire to be understanding. External interruptions, such as noise, distracting images, or constant interruptions, also interfere with listening. While some of these are unavoidable, it is important to strive to minimize their impact. Choosing the right place to talk, asking the other person to speak more slowly or louder if necessary, are all simple but effective steps to improving your listening skills. Finally, lack of patience is the bane of the modern world. We are accustomed to quick information and instant answers. However, deep listening takes time. People need time to formulate their thoughts, especially when it comes to complex or emotional topics. Rushing or interrupting can make the other person feel unappreciated and unimportant. Practice patience, allow pauses to occur naturally in conversation, and you will find that people will be more open and willing to share their true thoughts. Overcoming these barriers is an ongoing process of self-improvement. It requires constant reflection, awareness, and intentional effort. But each step in this direction pays off in spades, strengthening our relationships, deepening our self-understanding, and making our lives richer and more meaningful. The art of mindful listening is the path to the authentic connection that is so needed in a disconnected world.
If you'd like to support the channel and help us keep pushing forward, there are links in the description where you can donate. Every contribution helps us reach more people, do more good, and keep this mission alive. There's also a store down below where you can grab something for yourself, or even better, a gift for someone you care about. It's a simple way to spread love and let someone know they matter. We're all just trying to grow, to become better, to rise above the noise and step into who we're really meant to be. And I truly believe change is possible. the kind of change that creates a ripple effect and helps others see the beauty still left in this world. This channel is about real growth, real transformation, and I'm here to give you a front row seat to what that looks like. Raw, honest, and grounded in purpose. God is within all of us, and my goal is simple: to reflect that light as clearly and powerfully as I can, for you and for the world around us.